Stan. I'm from Connecticut. Now, I'm a very intense guy. I keep spreadsheets for everything. I'm always anxious about stuff. One of the things that I'm really anxious about is flying. Now, with everything going on, I know there's a lot of other people that are anxious about flying as well. Some people, when something happens with the airline, they swear and yell at them, post on social media. Other people, they decide they're going to have a drink. Now, my dad, who would have turned 75 today, he would go, he was not a drinker at all. When he would go to the airport, he would have a couple shots before getting on the plane just to relax. Now, that's not me. For me, I am a stalker when I am going to go flying. Now, what I do is, I start off about 2 weeks before I'm on a flight, seeing if the flight has a tendency to get canceled or delayed at any time. So I'm already stalking so I can change that flight. About 2 days before the flight, that's when I go into super stalker mode. That is when I go onto Flight Tracker and I go, okay, how many flights from now until my plane is going to get here? And what cities is it going to go through? And I check the weather for those cities as well, because I want to make sure that my flight is there. Now, when we get to the airport, we have to go through the pre-check. Now, TSA has a very specific list of things on their website that you can and cannot bring on. Now, some of the stuff you can't bring on, they say, makes sense. Dynamite, blasting caps, machetes. Okay, that makes sense. Some of the stuff that doesn't make sense is a foam toy sword. You cannot bring that onto a plane. So all those kids that went to the Pirates of the Caribbean at Disney, they're going to have to check that stuff. Another thing that you can't bring onto a plane is a magic 8-ball. And they actually say on the website that it's uncertain, that the future is uncertain if you bring that to the airport. Some of the stuff that you can bring on a plane are crochet hooks, so grannies are okay. You can bring lockpicks, so anyone looking to do some crime in another city, they're all set. You can also, you can also bring a screwdriver that's less than 7 inches. So you can't bring a foam toy sword, but you can bring a screwdriver. And the other thing, strange thing that they say that you can bring onto a plane is a lightsaber. But they also point out that that technology's not been made yet. So I was on a flight a couple weeks ago, and I was the only person in the emergency row. So I'm sitting there, I'm looking through the little flight book, what I need to do in case of an emergency. And yes, I liberated this from the plane. I'm sitting there, and the flight attendant comes running up to me, and she goes, "Now, I want you to know that the fate of everyone on this plane is in your hands." And I'm just like, okay. Well, little did I know, 3 minutes later, everything turns off on the plane, except for the emergency lights. The emergency lights all come on. Now, we're still at the gate. And I'm like, okay, I guess it's spring into action. Undo my seatbelt. I'm like, okay, good. I'm going over to the door, and then the pilot comes over to the PA. Oh, we just got disconnected from the power from the terminal. We're going to get going in just a minute. I'm like, damn it, I wanted to go down the slide. So then the last thing we always have, we get successfully to wherever we're supposed to go, hopefully. Then the last thing that we have to do is go to the baggage carousel. And then it's time for us to play baggage roulette. Are we going to have our baggage come out or not? So that's going to about do it for me tonight. Thank you all for listening. And it's time for me to go start my flight for tomorrow.